Hello, my name is Ilona. I made a video yesterday and I had messages received. Sometimes I receive things during my sleep. Of course, I don't know if it's true or not, so I'm just going to share these messages in English as well. The first was that there are still things going on underneath, so the deep underground military bases. They're cleaning up everything and they ran into some trouble. So that would delay the plan a little bit, so to speak. So I can feel it in the energy. It can happen anytime now that they will come out. We will see things in, so to speak, reality or in the media. But they ran into some issues they needed to fix first, because you don't want to fight a battle on two fronts. Things need to be cleaned up first underneath before they will come out. And that was the first thing. The second one, which I find very interesting, is that it was more of a feeling that it's important for us to just be right now instead of doing all these things. I mentioned in another video that it's important that we set our energies, because then we can pull in the new reality like 5D. That's like an action, and we don't need to do that anymore. We can just be, because 5D energy is already there. We don't have to do anything for it. We can just let it come in. So it's almost like we have to give ourselves permission to open ourselves up. And last night I was in my bed and I was kind of just feeling almost serene. There was some kind of serenity. It's like this feeling everything is going to be all right. It's almost like I could just relax. And I think that's the most important thing right now that we need to do with everything that's going on. We have tonight in the Netherlands, they're doing another press release talking about new restrictions in countries around Europe. We've got new strict, they're shutting down certain parts, and in the country people won't be able to go out and do things. So there's a lot going on right now. And it was this feeling of we can just be. We are so used to fighting survival, which is exactly what the Black Hats want us to feel. They want us scared. They want us in this survival mode, keeping us fearful, keeping us always just surviving. We are put in this, system that's really just wearing us out. And you can really see it now and feel it. You know, you feel this heavy energy that's just, it's heavy. Things are being released as well. You have to understand that things are being healed. We now in an energy that really opens ourselves up. Things on the ground are being cleaned up, and people forget that that energy is also being released. So sometimes if you live in certain areas where there's a lot of things going on the ground, you can feel very heavy at times, like what's going on. You can actually feel that energy releasing itself. Earth is changing. The 5D is, releasing all this negativity, all this negative energy. And we can really be now. I talk about this female principle that needs to be restored. And the female principle is really about living in the moment, receiving, opening up. And it really was yesterday evening, I was just like, this is just wonderful. This is like this very relaxing feeling, like everything is going to be all right. Everything is all right. And it's almost like I could just release tension. And I still have a way to go, because I do have a lot of tension in my body. But I just noticed I'm kind of like melting away. This feeling of it's going to be fine. It is already fine. And I think we really need to find that in ourselves. I think that's also connected to the allowing the 5D energy in our world, in our reality, by just relaxing and being with ourselves and just feel everything there is to feel at this moment. I don't think we need to work that hard to raise our vibrations anymore. I think we can really be, and that's really what we need to do right now, to just be. It's like to be or not to be. That is the question. And I think that really is the question. We are so used to doing things, working hard, trying to do all these things. We need to do this, we need to solve this, we need to face this. And of course, it's being created that way. You know, the Black Hats wants to keep us busy with all kinds of things outside of ourselves that we need to face and we need to deal with. But really, the only thing we need to face is right here, is ourselves. We've been fighting and surviving and for so long that if I just speak from my own personal experience, it's very different or almost strange to just relax and like, it's going to be all right. I know I sound a little bit like a hippie. I think they had a good point. Of course, they needed other things for that, but I think we can really relax in ourselves. And I think this is the moment to really relax. Like, this is me, this is who I am. My connection with the consciousness and that I'm always safe wherever I am. I'm always protected, I'm always connected. And I'm still feeling that. So, of course, there will be times that other heavy energy may come up. But this is so important to really connect with this feeling. I do believe that the more we do this, the more that we are just allowing ourselves to be, the easier this will get. And the more we will just see the 5D energy. I think it's completely about allowing this energy. Just allowing it in our world. Just connecting with this. I cannot even explain. It's just an incredible feeling. It's so relaxing. Like, I can just be myself. Everything is fine. And especially in this world, I do believe that we need to be with ourselves. See what come up. You can just sit down, or you don't even have to meditate or do all kinds of things. You can just be. Right now, this moment, just breathe. Just breathe and see what you feel, and everything is fine. And it almost sounds like it may sound very passive way, but I have a feeling it kind of just releases tension in ourselves. Negative feelings, we can just feel them and they can just let go of. We don't have to hold on to them anymore. I don't think we need to go through all these things to face them. I think it's just about feeling them and things will just transform. And I believe underneath there is this almost exciting feeling to start creating. So I believe that if we kind of just let ourselves be, there will be a moment that we feel to do some action or to do something, but we shouldn't force ourselves. We don't have to work hard for that. We're so used to that because, like I said, the dark created this world so we would just survive with jobs that are, well, not the finest jobs. I've had jobs that were just boring and they made it that way. So you're just surviving with barely enough money, barely enough things, so you can just keep going and hoping if you work hard and you have this American dream. If you just work hard for it, you'll get what you want, and it's always focused outside of yourself. And I think we really need to change that because everything is there already. It's in ourselves. And if we can really be with ourselves, I think we can just see 5D reality unfold in front of our eyes if we really connect with ourselves. But I'd like to just see what the cards will have to say about that. So, this is the card above, that's the 9 of Wands. This is the central card, that's the Moon. This is the 5 of Pentacles. That's the card in the past. This is the Page of Swords. That's underneath the central card. And this is the card, the future. And that's the Knight of Swords. I'm just going to pull in, see, the World. Beautiful. See an extra, and that's the Page of Pentacles. So right now, this is the past. A lot of people feel like they're left in the cold. That's the Five of Pentacles. Like they're feeling left out. They're not connecting with their families or with their people around them. A lot of people that are awake never really felt like we are in the right place. This system, we don't fit in this system. We never did. At least when I was growing up, I was just miserable with the school system, with everything that's going on. Even in my family, like I've mentioned before, my family, well, they have some dysfunctional patterns. I have to say that I do have a good contact now with my parents, but it was tough growing up. And I think a lot of people, especially awake, especially the more spiritual people or more sensitive people, who felt that they were left out, like we're missing something. How come other people can just move along with this system? Why do they just, how do you say this? I always looked at other people like, why is it so easy for them? That's like, it's not easy for me. I always felt like the odd duck in or something. I just never fit in. I always felt like I was an outsider just looking in. And whatever I did and how I tried to adapt, I tried to rebel, I've tried all kinds of things to just find my own path, and it's so difficult. Like there's no connection there, and there isn't, because this isn't really who we are. And the people that do fit in, they mostly are people that are not just that aware of themselves and kind of just following along. This had a lot to do with old pains we can release now. This is about a feeling. You can see someone that has wounds from previous battles and is actually expecting another battle. A lot of us, and if I just speak for myself, we're kind of expecting this. Oh, when is this going to happen? We need to be prepared. We need to fight. We need to stand up for ourselves. And we can let go of that energy. We can really start to let go that we have to fight for everything, or that we have to work hard for everything, that we have to put in this effort. In essence, we are effortless. We create no matter what. We don't need to work hard for that. That's a lie that's been told to us, that we really have to work hard. You have to do your best and you have to do this. And if you're not coming along or you can't get with the system, that's your problem. There's something wrong with you. And it's very important to realize, no, it's the system that is the problem, not us. It's the system. So we're really in this period that we're starting to see through our fears and our pains and our anger, because that's the moon. There's an illusion going on. A lot of unconscious things are coming up right now. And I do believe that we're finally starting to connect with our intuition again, with that feminine side. It's also interesting that we have the Page of Swords. That is about this inquisitive mind that wants to know, that wants to learn more, that wants to look beneath the illusion, beneath this, what is really going on. We have a lot of information coming out now, even to me, are amazing. I never expected to look at the world in that way. Like, what is going on? Reality, dimensions, frequencies. It's, to be very honest, I get very excited with all these new perspectives, because it's just a new way of looking at things. And that's what we're doing right now. That's what's happening. That's the Great Awakening. So it's awakening to see what's really going on and to find our path, our true path, and let our fears, our anger all behind. We don't need to carry that along with us anymore. We do have the Knight of Swords, and that's mostly, you see this person fighting along, and that's why I got two more cards just to clarify what that means. And I do think that this feeling will still come out, and it's important to let go of that feeling to fight that fits with this card. We need to let go of this. We don't have to do this anymore. We can stand for ourselves, being with ourselves, without all the fighting, without all the survival skills, we can be prepared, but in a very, how do you say that, warm way, in connection with ourselves. We will feel exactly what we need to do. We need to start trusting our intuition and being. It's so important to just be. Stop focusing on, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to be prepared for that, because in a way you are creating that and manifesting that. There's nothing wrong with just being prepared, but do it in connection with yourself. Like, oh, this feels right to me, and well, this doesn't feel right to me. Step away from that fearful energy, that in a way survival instinct, that flee or fight response that they've kept us in for such a long time. We are now allowed to just allow ourselves to relax. It's now up to us. We don't need to react to everything around ourselves anymore. We can just connect with ourselves. This is really a new chance that's being provided to us to look at things differently and to really, in a very realistic way, create our new own beautiful world. And we can do that without all this feeling of survival or fighting or working hard. We can really let go of that and really, this world is what we have inside of ourselves. We have everything we need here, right now, in ourselves. And we really need to trust that and connect with that. And then everything will fall into place. The World is the last card of the Major Arcana. It's really the successful ending of a certain journey. And we will go on another journey, but in a completely different way. Away from this fearful, we need to fight for ourselves, we need to protect ourselves, it's not necessary anymore. It's not necessary to be in that energy anymore. We can let go of that energy. We can be with ourselves. We can truly connect with ourselves. And then we have everything we need. I want to leave it at that, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.